So what separates a characteristically nice person from a person who's trying to be characteristically nice? And the answer is their source of validation, which then feeds their confidence and self-esteem. So for a person who's characteristically nice, they derive their confidence primarily and mainly from within, meaning their validation is self-directed and unaffected by other people's influence. So a person who's characteristically nice is not waiting for other people to call them nice, to label them as nice. They can do that on their own primarily. When other people do it, it's secondary. So it comes on top of the more than 50% that they already believe about themselves. Whereas a person who is trying to be characteristically nice derives their validation and confidence from other people outside of themselves, meaning their conviction of whether or not they're nice depends on what other people are saying about them. So if other people have the opinion that they're not nice people, then they're not nice. They don't have the ability to make that a reality for themselves. They have to rely on other people. Other people control whether or not they're nice people. And we can see the consequences of these. So for example, a person who is trying to be characteristically nice in a situation, for example, here, it's 28th of May, and you're coming to me desperate for a loan. The only money I have is to pay rent for the month. I don't have any more money to lend you. But for a person, because I am trying to be characteristically nice, I tend to find myself unnecessarily in crisis, in dilemmas, because there's always a competing priority in every situation, which is wanting to be liked by the other person, needing to be liked by the other person. That's a competing priority in all contexts that I find myself in, which create dilemmas. And so in this case, the competing priorities are, I give you the money and you are going to label me a nice person, or if I don't give it to you, you're going to label me a not nice person, which I can't stand. Or I give you the money and I inconvenience myself by not paying rent, which is going to lead to a series of consequences that are going to really eventually put me in the same crisis you're in right now, in the same emergency you're in, which also is difficult for me to stand. And so it's very difficult for a person who's trying to be nice to decide in that particular situation. Do I be nice to myself and pay rent? Or do I be nice to you so that you can call me a nice person, which is really important to me? I've got a deep-rooted psychological problem where I need to please the other person to feel good about myself. I'm not able to feel good without somebody else making me feel good. So other people control my emotions for a person who's trying to be characteristically nice. In the same situation, if you put a person who is characteristically nice, the question was answered before it was asked. I can already validate my niceness. I know I'm nice. And I know I'm nice even when I'm choosing to prioritize my needs over yours. And there are situations where I know I'm nice when I'm prioritizing your needs over mine. I know when to compromise, and that does not reduce my character as a nice person. I've already defined it, I've already determined it for myself, and I'm confident in it. And so the reason I'm saying the question is already answered is because my priority is to pay rent. Anything else is not a priority for me in this moment. I can understand, sympathize, and be compassionate with your problem